It lasted only 40 minutes, and when the dust settled, 10,000 men lay dead. One side stood victorious, the other was erased. This is the story of the most one-sided battles ever fought, moments in history where arrogance, strategy, and sheer fate collided, and only one army walked away. Sudan, September 2nd, 1898. The sun is merciless, baking the sand around the city of Omdurman. Facing the British Empire are 50,000 modest warriors, fearless, devoted, carrying swords, spears, and banners of faith. Across the field stand just 8,000 British soldiers, calm, mechanical, and armed with something new, the Maxim machine gun. The Modists charge, their war cry shaking the earth. But the British line doesn't move. Then comes the thunder. Metal cuts through flesh. Within hours, the desert turns red. 12,000 Modist soldiers die. The British lose 48. General Kitchener calls it like mowing the grass, cold, efficient. It wasn't a battle. It was an industrial demonstration of death. Jump across the ocean, Texas, 1836. The Mexican general Santa Anna camps his army along the river. He's confident, arrogant even. No scouts, no guards. Before dawn, a sound splits the silence. Remember the Alamo. 600 Texan soldiers storm the camp like lightning. The Mexicans panic. They never had a chance to load their guns. 18 minutes later, it's over. 630 Mexican soldiers lie dead. 700 more are captured. Santa Anna? He's found hiding in a swamp, dressed like a peasant. The Texan Revolution is won before breakfast. 2,000 years earlier, in southern Italy, the Roman Republic faces its greatest nightmare. They've marched 86,000 men to crush one audacious general, Hannibal Barca. He has 50,000, but Hannibal doesn't fight straight. He invites the Romans to push in, a crescent of troops bending backward, step by step. The Romans think they're winning, until the trap snaps shut. Cavalry slams into their flanks. Dust fills the air. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to breathe. By nightfall, 70,000 Romans are dead. The blood runs so deep that later armies say the soil of Cannae was forever cursed. Rome called it their darkest day. Hannibal, he called it strategy. Now to the sea, Manila Bay, Philippines, May 1st, 1898. The Spanish fleet lines up with pride and color, 10 ships flying the red-gold flag. Across the bay, the United States Navy prepares for its first great test. Commodore George Dewey gives the order. You may fire when ready, Gridley. And fire they do. The air fills with thunder and smoke. In just over 2 hours, every Spanish ship burns or sinks. The Americans lose one man. From heat stroke, Spain's empire, 4 centuries old, ends before lunchtime. From deserts to oceans, these one-sided battles share one truth. Victory doesn't always mean triumph. The Sudanese remembered Omdurman as slaughter. The Mexicans remembered San Jacinto as betrayal. Rome swore vengeance for Cannae and spent 15 years chasing a ghost named Hannibal. Each victory carried a curse. Each defeat planted a seed. Because history always evens the score. Eventually, every one-sided battle is a warning. That arrogance blinds kings. That technology turns faith into statistics. And that sometimes the strongest army loses long after the fighting ends. Empires rise, empires fall. But history never forgets imbalance. Because in the end, the greatest victories often plant the seeds of the next defeat.